the stories that you tell working with teachers.
Hmm.
And I think I felt validated and valued to know that this is a process that you've gone through. And I'm sure it's not one night you woke up and you're like, I'm going to be vulnerable
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, what helped you get there? What were the setbacks? What were the things that pushed you forward? How can we help others, I think, understand that the best growth comes from vulnerability, even though it's the scariest thing for some?
Well, that's a really interesting question, and I think it's weird because when I talk to people and I encourage them to share what they're doing, one of the pushbacks I often get, and I think it's a really valid one, is I don't want to brag. Like I don't want to brag. And I totally understand that, right? And there is a certain element of social media that you just kind of like, come on, like I don't want to just quit showing how awesome you are and stuff like that too. And it feels that way. And I think one of the things that I got for feedback was, and I really appreciate it, it's from a principal I know. He said it's really conversational and you're giving advice in a totally non-condescending way. So you're really looking from your lens and how you're doing it. And so my response to people when they are sharing that concern of becoming off like that they're very braggadocious, for lack of a better term, is I just share my learning online. And I don't say it's good or bad. I just share what's going on. And I think that process has really helped me. And I think it was because I didn't want to come off as the guy bragging about, oh, look at this, look at this. Now, the one thing, and I think I do this in the book as well, if I'm going to brag on someone, it's other schools, it's people I'm serving, it's teachers that are really doing a great job. Even there is a story I remember just kind of talking about this, where I share a story about myself and a teacher, and I outright say, it's not me who's going to look, or it's not her who's going to look bad in this story, right? And she, as I'm telling the story, she looks incredible, and I struggle, but I just don't. I think part of it too, and I know this sounds weird. If I say I look bad, then you can't say it as well. Like I've kind of taken that power away from you. And my superintendent, her name is Kelly Wilkins, amazing, amazing leader. She is like no surprises. Like we want no surprises. So if something was going wrong, and this is great advice for administrators, whether the superintendent gets a call or not, you call the superintendent to say like, "Hey, heads up, this might be coming your way," so that
Right.
they're prepared. Would you agree with that sentiment?
100%.
Right, and 95% no phone call happened, but the 5% it did. They kind of knew what was coming their way, and I never got in trouble for giving a heads up. It's the time where I didn't say anything that's the concern. So I just felt like it's way better to own it yourself. Way better to go through that process. And we are in a learning profession. Like literally, our job is learning. And so if I only share the ups, then I am bragging. But it's sharing the ups and downs, how I've kind of worked myself through the process. And as I say in the book, my hope is my hindsight is age your foresight. And so that to me it's become natural a little bit over the years because it's not. I don't feel like I'm sharing failures. I'm just sharing the process of learning because I'm not done. So I'm still figuring it out.